just for this First Amendment. The right way to do it.
Okay, so what are you doing here?
We're here because we're fed up with Karen Bass and the city having programs for unhoused people that are literally killing them on the streets because they're not providing proper housing. A lot of them are people we care about, and we're doing the work because we care. We're not getting paid. It's just really frustrating, and we just don't know what else to do. So we joined different grassroots housing coalitions that are facing eviction, that are seeing people die because of the sweeps they're doing through 41 and teen. So we're just fed up and sad and enraged, and we want to stop this.
So how have you both been affected by homelessness in LA?
For me, I'm part of Reclaiming Our Homes, which we reclaimed a house in March 2020 at the start of the pandemic because I'm a single mom of two, and we were unhoused for about 8 months before that, couch surfing. So it's something else that is not seen as being unhoused, but it was really unstable. I had a lot of anxiety. My children also had a lot of anxiety, and they weren't learning, and it was just detrimental to our mental health. Until we reclaimed the house, we were better, but now we're facing eviction because it's a PATH program through HACLA, through the Housing Authority, that's only 2 years they give us to get our life together and be able to rent a house. The problem is rent is still really high, wages are low, and I can't afford to move out, so now I'm facing eviction.
Right.
And this is happening over and over again to a lot of people. Recently, there was a single mom of 4 that was evicted and now is left on the streets instead of giving proper housing. And they're lying to the media saying that they're housing people, and they're literally throwing us out on the streets to die. It's genocide right now on the poor.
What kind of rents are you being asked to pay here in Los Angeles?
It's over $2,000 for sure, and like working people cannot afford that.
Okay, so next question is, what do you see as the solution?
The solution would be to have permanent housing options. There is enough resources. We have enough houses. There's 3 empty homes per one unhoused person. A lot of them in El Sereno, Alhambra, and South Pasadena are still vacant, so they could be used for housing. The problem is the state and the city and even LAUSD is hoarding these houses while people are suffering on the streets. And so I feel like that's the solution. It should be made by people that are the most impacted, which is the unhoused people or people that are housing insecure, and not by these politicians or agencies that are getting paid a lot of money for not doing their job and killing us instead.
What do you want to say? You're here outside Karen Bass's home that she gets as mayor, which I think is owned by the Getty Group. It's a very nice house in a very expensive neighborhood. What would your message be to Karen Bass right now?
It's both enraging and really sad. I find it really sad because she's a black woman and she should know better, and it breaks my heart to see these people in power become monsters and lose their humanity.
Right.
So I really want her to have a heart and be a human being again, and remember her people, and that we should not be criminalized and seen as trash and disposable just because we're poor, especially when there's enough resources for everybody. I just want people to be human again and care. And once we care about each other, we will protect the most vulnerable, and everybody can be taken care of. It's not like one versus the other. We can all be taken care of. There is enough resources for everybody, and we all deserve a home.
Now, Karen Bass, one of her major points when she was electioneering was to resolve the homeless issue in Los Angeles. Have you not seen an improvement in that?
No, not at all.
Right, so, I mean, she's done nothing different from her predecessors. If she's claiming to actually solve it, she's actually only made strides to continue to keep it going through temporary housing programs that have been proven to fail for the last 40 years and have only increased and made the problems worse. Most people, like Martha, get a 2-year contract, and then the argument that the city is making is that they need to make room for other houseless families to be able to enter these programs, and so they're going to evict Martha and her children to make room for somebody else. That does not solve the issue of homelessness. It only worsens it. It only means you get a limited amount of time, and then you're back on the streets because people aren't going to be able to pay the rents, and what that looks like for people we know. I'm here because I have had a lot of friends and loved ones who've died on the streets because of the failure of these programs. If someone is hospitalized for 3 days, they lose their spot in a motel and are forced to go back to the streets. I've had friends with pacemakers who were gravely ill, who needed a place to be, and were sent back outside with a tent. And the city knew about it. The mayor knew about it, our council member knew about it, and they did nothing to actually bring people to safety and to bring people into real housing. Like this, none of this is real, and so I think for me, the mayor is going to have to get used to seeing this. You're going to have to get used to seeing encampments of people that have no other choice and no other option because they're dying in the streets. And the only thing these programs do is hide us away, and for just a temporary amount of time. There's no guarantee how long you can stay. People don't know when they're going to be evicted, and people that are living in motels don't have the same rights as tenants. They're participants in programs, so when the program is over, people are back on the streets. There is no safety net.
Right.
And so to Karen Bass, to all the politicians in this city, they should get used to this because they're going to see us more and more taking up their space, their house, because people have no other choice, nowhere else to go, and we're sick of dying in the streets. We're sick of our blankets being taken during sweeps. It's unjust. It's inhumane. And if you do anything about it, you're criminalized for caring. And that's the other thing that I've been arrested 4 times for assisting an elder in a wheelchair for not moving fast enough. And that is, if you don't move fast enough as a disabled elder, you end up cited and you can go to jail. So it's a senseless system. It's meant to just punish and hurt people. And I think we have everything we need to be able to take care of people in genuine ways. And the mayor has done nothing different. In fact, has only just claimed victory over the heads of the people who are dying out here.